Hey y'all, Courtney Lyons here with Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. My channel is all things diamond painting, and one of my favorite videos to do is a post review. So this is post review / finish of a diamond painting. This one in particular is a Jaded Gem Shop mystery. Now, don't worry about it. There are zero spoilers because this was a mystery tailored specifically to me, so there's no spoiler to you. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, if you have not already liked and subscribed, do the thing. I love it when people, especially it really helps when you like that video. I know I like being reminded to like a video because I am like, oh yeah, I'll go like the video, and then it helps definitely with the algorithm, algorithm thing that we're all worried about here. And then if you haven't already subscribed, I do post reviews of my finishes so you guys can see them. I know they don't, and I've said this in my last post review, which was actually not that long ago. Usually I don't have post reviews this close together, but that they don't do well on my channel, but I don't even care. I just love having it. It's almost like a journal for myself. It's almost like part of the what is that called? Why am I struggling to remember what this is called? What's it called? It's a notebook. It has my stuff in it. What? Did I forget the name of did I write it? Is it in here somewhere? What in the... Why am I forgetting the name of this? All right, editing Courtney, stick it up somewhere, I guess. I remember I never actually did this. Logbook. Oh my gosh, it's called a logbook. Talk about a brain fart. Sheesh. Okay, it's called a logbook. Where was I even going with that? I think at this point I've lost my train of thought. Is that a sock? Okay, this is already chaotic. The kids sometimes sleep in this room, and I still see Dogman books over there. You can't see them from here. But I think this bump right here, it's totally a sock under there. Okay, well, ignore that bump there. It is a sock. It's underneath, because whenever my kids make the bed, they don't actually check to make sure that whatever's in the bed with them doesn't get out first. They just make the bed on top of it all. So that's why there's Dogman books over there under here. And that's why there is probably likely a sock. So, okay, whatever. That's that. I forgot where I was going with it. Logbook. Oh, videos are like kind of part of my logbook for me. So I love seeing the post reviews, and we'll even go and watch them sometimes of my own. And I love it when other people put them up. Okay, so that was the longest and most random and most tangent-y beginning ever. So let's go ahead and keep talking about this one. This one, like I said, was a mystery from Jaded Gem Shop. So first off, let's talk about how this came. So when I first got this, okay, first off, this is a round mystery kit. So it is done in rounds, meaning the diamonds themselves are round. Now, usually companies don't do round mystery paintings. And even Jade on Jaded Gem Shop says that she highly recommends doing a square and not round. And the reason for that is because if you come and zoom super close up, do you see how much space is between all of the drills, which means that they have to print color behind the drills. Otherwise, you'd get so much white in the background or black in the background, and you wouldn't actually get a very clear picture. So for that reason, they do squares, because squares sit flush against each other. So it doesn't really matter what is behind it as long as they're good and they are flush together, which Jaded Gem Shops are known to be. I have yet to do a Jaded Gem Shop square. But, yeah, so that's why she recommends squares, but she does do the option for rounds. Now, I want to say that I did that on purpose for thought and be like, oh, no one else has done a rounds mystery kit that I've seen, and, to make a really cool video of it. But no, it was not on purpose. I was not paying attention. I did not put squares on there. And I thought I did. I don't know what happened. Somehow, though, I ended up putting that these to do a mystery for rounds. Okay, so just so you know, that's why they're rounds. But ended up turning out just fine. I did know what the image was pretty early on, just based off of the outside, because I know my cat fedoras. I love my cat fedoras. And but I do want to also talk about the parameter of the mystery. So you can go on to Jaded Gem Shop you can go choose a mystery kit. You can choose a small, a medium, or a large mystery kit. You can now probably by now choose to have a hand charted one or choose to have one that is their hybrid charting. Pixel charting is their hand charted one. Hybrid charting is the one where it's something like this with the still really high confetti, mostly computer rendered with a little bit of touch-ups. But you can, in the comments area when you go to check out, you actually tell Jade what the parameters of the mystery are. So my parameters were, I would like a cat Fedora, and then I chose a medium, and I said anything that's woodland creatures of cat Fedora, which is like most cat Fedora, let's face it. But yeah, so she did that and she chose this one, and I think it turned out really good. I do have a few little hang-ups, but for the most part I absolutely adore doing this kit. But we will talk about it and get into it. And I do want to talk about the way it came to me, which was perfectly packaged. But I do want to point out, this is the type of cover that was on this kit. Now, if you normally do a Jaded Gem Shop that's not a mystery, you're going to have a regular clear plastic. It's really thick, really nice. I really like Jaded Gem Shop plastic that they put on top. But this was all over the whole kit. It's like this, I kept calling it the garbage bag because it looks like one of those big black garbage bags. It feels like pretty similar, but obviously thicker, like much thicker, but still. It's very like, that's what it made me think of. So that covered it, and she does do that with all of her mystery kits, which I think is actually kind of nice. I did have an issue with this though. It was very, very hard to find lines. You might hear some noises in the background. My dad and my brother just got home from a movie, so just a heads up, you'll hear some noises. But yes, so this was really, really hard because you could not, like when this is on, you can't see where the lines are behind it like you could with a clear cover. So it's not like you could cut right along the edge. It was very, very difficult for me at first, and I ended up just finally folding it back and putting it down and then folding it back over and cutting along the line, and even then it really wasn't able to be very precise. So that was my one hang up. That was probably my biggest frustration with this kit, I would say, was this plastic thing. In retrospect, I probably, oh my goodness, I probably should have taken the whole thing off and done release paper, but I did not want to see the image all the way. But then I ended up ruining it for myself anyway. So I ended up just taking up the whole thing and looking at it a few times anyway. And then I really should have done release paper at that point, and then I just never did. I just got used to doing it this way and finished it. But I don't really love that plastic cover, but it is nice and thick. It's just really hard to figure out where to cut it. So that was my biggest hang up. Let's talk about start and finish now. They'll come to my logbook, now that I remember what that's called. It says 60 by 60. I'm pretty sure this is 70 by 70. Maybe it's 60 by 60. Does it say? It does say 60 by 60. Okay. I was thinking maybe 70 by 70, but actually that would be much bigger. Excuse me. I didn't mean to be yawning and talking at the same time. So it is a 60 by 60 round, like I said. Start date sometime last year. I'm very well known to not put my start date. I always forget that. And then the end date, though, was May 2nd, 2025, which was really fun. And I meant to put 25 up here because I've been doing that for my finishes. I'll try to remember to do that. Favorite color. My favorite color of working of any of these colors here, I'm a little bit torn between two of them. I feel like I stopped doing my favorite color thing because it kind of was the same thing. If I had a mint green in here, it was usually mint green. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed working with this color and then this color as well. I just thought were very beautiful. But there were a lot of wonderful colors that I truly enjoyed working on in here. And then number of colors, there were 64 colors. Trash, yeah, some. But it really wasn't too bad. And they were resin drills. They were very nice resin drills. These round resin drills, they're on point. They are so nice. They are so sparkly. They are very faceted. I just was very impressed with these round drills, and they very much remind me of Muni-Made. Muni-Made and Jaded Gem Shop have like almost identical drills in my opinion. And then for the rounds, I have not tried. I've started a square for Muni-Made and loving it. And I have not tried square for Jaded Gem Shop, but I heard they are very similar in quality. But rounds, I would say they're very similar. Enhancements, for the event, Jaded Gemboree, which was from last year, and so I don't know how much that would account. I think you just have to work on a jade like kit, so it's not that big of a deal. Enhancements, no enhancements. I didn't add any enhancements. I don't usually with a more computer charted kit because it's a little bit difficult to figure out where it would go. But if I did, I probably would have put them in all of these lights right here. So this is a mystery painting, but I do want to point out that it does actually have a name. It is, like I said, Cat Fedora, and it is called Firefly Cottage. So you can actually go on and grab Firefly Cottage. They don't have it pixel charted or hand charted yet, but maybe they will in the future. But this is, but there are some recommendations I would make with size, but I'll get to that. It was my 14th finish for the year and 35th finish overall. Like I said, there were no specials. And note, super confetti. There was so much confetti. Look at the thatched roof. That was, the cottage was insanity. Like this window right here was crazy. The thatching on the roof was actually really, really fun, but really crazy. For the most part, it was very high confetti everywhere, but that was definitely the highest confetti. And it usually, I really like hand charted. And the more and more I am getting hand charted, the more I realize that I like hand charted. But I was still having a blast with this. So I still really loved doing this until at the very end I started to rush it because I wanted to have it finished. First off, because I've been working on this one for forever. Second, because I was like, I really need to finish this one before I could start my Ivy Dolomore kit for the Ivy Dolomore along. So I did finish this before I got started on that one. So, but I realized when it's a high confetti kit like this, no rushing allowed because then I don't enjoy it as much anymore. But I still did have fun with it, even as I was trying to rush through it. But I just think it would have peak enjoyment if I had given it where I did a couple squares here and there like I'd been doing this whole time. And that's why it took so long to go through this one. But I had a blast. Like, it's not like it's not at all like I was just slogging through this one. I just would work on it here and there when I was ready for a higher confetti kit like this. So, let's see. Good guide circles. Oh, yeah. Okay, so despite it being... Okay, I'm just going to show you with the colors because do you see these symbols right here? They are black and white. They don't have the colors on them, and neither did, and that made it a little bit hard, neither did the symbols on the actual canvas. They were all black and white. So first off, that made confetti insane. It was so difficult to figure out which colors, but it wasn't like so difficult that it wasn't fun anymore. It was just a challenge, but it was still fun. But it's really why I had to take these in small doses. But because of that, I was really worried when I got the round kit that I was like, are these going to show through? Like, am I going to get a whole bunch of guide circle pieces because, and streaks of like white and black if I don't place perfectly? But no, I did not. Like, there might be a few places here and there with some lighter colors that you might be able to see a little bit. Like, I see just a touch up there. But no, I seriously would have been driven crazy if that happened. But I've seen very, very little spots where I can actually see the symbol underneath, even in the lighter colors. Tiniest bit right there. And then, like, still, all of this is, like, really nice. And the reason for that is because Jaded Gem Shop's grid, for their rounds at least, because I haven't tried their squares yet, but I've heard really good things, for their rounds is super tight. And so because it's super tight, all of those round drills are actually touching. Like, you could even get snaps as you put them down. So but not like to the point of popping or anything like that. So because of that, it was really easy to place straight, and it was really easy to cover up those symbols without having to try too hard, and they're not showing through, despite them not even being colored. So I really thought that was great. It really was an enjoyable kit. And I'm like not mad at all that I ended up getting a round mystery kit. It looks just as good as a regular kit because you can't see those symbols that were black and white behind it instead of colored. So, yeah, I just wanted to show that to you. My other hang up though with this kit, besides the plastic on the back, and it's not a huge issue, And as I'm looking through the viewfinder, you can see it a lot better. But looking in person, there are pieces that are very pixelated. And I know a lot of it is because of the size. Like, this is 60 by 60. I know that you can get up to like 120. If you get that one, you are going to get so much more detail than in this kit. Now, so I know Jade chose this kit based off of the size and then based off of what I had liked. But she had seen a video a while back about all the kits I'm pretty sure she'd seen it, about all the kits that I was really excited for, and she knew how much I loved this one. If she watched that video, I'm pretty sure she did, how much I really, really loved this kit. So I think that she was probably like, okay, medium, but I bet it'll still work in a medium, and I know she likes this kit, and then she put it in there, because I think that she's just a really thoughtful person in that way. So, it's not like I'm like, Jade, like, this is way too small, because it really isn't. You're still getting a lot of detail. I would just say it's on the very small end of what would have worked for this kit in particular and the detail that it has. Because over here, you can see these are a few birds, mushrooms, these mushrooms, and these mushrooms. They're kind of hard to tell what they are. But from far away, it's a lot easier to tell what they are. That you can totally tell is a deer. It looks amazing. These mushrooms look great. All of the roof, even the, like, you can tell that the windows right there are touched up. And that one up there, like, you can tell that it's been touched up in some places where I can tell she put some lines in and stuff like that. And that bear looks really good too, especially for the size. What didn't quite go through is, first off, the birds over here. And then there is supposed to be a girl reading a book right here. And if I didn't know that was a girl reading a book, I honestly don't think my eyes would interpret it as that. Maybe through, the thing that holds my phone is kind of in the way, so I can't actually see it, even when I look at the camera. But the girl itself, like herself, from looking even from further away, like I'm walking further away, I can't tell that's a girl reading a book. I might be able to tell that's a book, but not really the girl. And then there's a sleeping fox right next to her. Like, this is the part of the deck, and then this is a sleeping fox, or supposed to be a sleeping fox. It does look like a sleeping animal to me. There's no way I would interpret that as a fox, maybe a cat. So that one is like really difficult to tell what it is. And then I do think that these windows could maybe have been touched up just a touch. So there are a few places here like that I'm like, it looks a little bit pixelated, especially that girl and the fox. But it still looks really, really good, especially for the size and the detail. Like, I just can tell that it did get touched up to an extent. Now, if this was hand charted, I think that there could be a lot more detail in there. But even then, I do think that the size point probably should have been bigger for a kit like this, and we wouldn't have gotten that pixelation. That said, I'm really glad and happy that I did get to do this kit and as a mystery, and that was really fun. Like, the whole experience was fun to do, being able to do a mystery to begin with, as well as being able to do this kit, which I was really excited to do. So the pixelation, like, these are nitpicks. That one's a little bit bigger of a nitpick, I suppose. And then this was kind of a little bit, because really that could be fixed by just putting release paper down. But that said, it still looks amazing, because you can at least tell that is a really good cottage. And then the bear, you can totally tell what the bear is, and then maybe that there's some items over here. Like, really the only fuzzy part's like right here, and the birds a little bit. Everything else looks amazing. Okay, so another point, my favorite part of doing this kit, while it was all really fun, I truly loved doing this area. And the area back here behind the cottage where the light's coming through, I don't know why, except that I did. It was really fun. There was something very ethereal about it that I loved working on and seeing come to life, especially from a mystery kit. Putting that color on really made it pop as you were working on it. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I can go over the canvas feel. Is just kind of that short lint canvas feel. It's pretty thick, works pretty well. No complaints. Oh, glue. glue is so good. Guys, I love Jaded Gem Shop's glue. Like, every time I was putting drills down, I heard the pop, 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 because the glue was amazing. So, really enjoyed the glue, really enjoyed the drills, really enjoyed the grid and the canvas feel, and did not really like the plastic. Mostly loved the rendering despite it being really confetti heavy, besides those few parts. And then what's the last thing? Yeah, drills are really good. Okay, that's pretty much it. Did I come close to running out of any colors? Let me see if I can even remember. I don't think so. Jade, I think, is pretty well known for giving a lot of drills. Yeah, I don't think I was coming pretty close. I mean, maybe this when we had a lot of, or we used a lot of these, and I feel like we were getting kind of low on that, but I still have like, what, probably 100 drills in there. So, that one probably would have been the closest, and even then it wasn't even that close. So yeah, no, it was great. I think at some point I did accidentally mix a couple of drills. I hate when that happens. It makes me so mad. Like, irrationally angry. And I swear I do it with every kit, at least close to the end. And then at that point I'm like, you know what, I'm not even gonna separate them. I'm just gonna work with them as the color comes up, which I totally am doing with my Cottage Core Wish. I should separate the one color, but it's like, at this point I'm like, why put the time into it even when I only have a few squares that have that color? So but I swear I do it every single time, with every single kit, especially if it's a longer project one. This did take a long time, like I said. Hours wise, I don't count my hours, that just seems stressful to me, but I would say it took the same amount of time as some of these bigger kits that I've done, and I think that was fully on the confetti. So that is it. I highly recommend Jaded Gem Shop. I really like them. With all the quality and everything like that, I'm really excited to try one of their hand charted kits, because now I love every single piece and quality of it. And so now I'm excited to actually try one that is not going to have anything like pixelation, or that it's going to be, I just really like hand charted kits better. So I'm excited to try one of those. Rounds were great. I'm excited to try one of the squares, and I would highly recommend the shop. And you could even get a mystery rounds. I think that if someone who wants to do a mystery but they don't do squares, this is a wonderful option for you, because it really did work out great. You know, except I'd, like I said, recommend taking the plastic off and putting on the release paper, keeping in mind that the color still has to be there, so you pretty much still see the picture behind it. It won't really be a mystery anymore. So maybe in that situation you could get someone to do it for you, where they take the cover off and put the release paper down if you can, and then that would solve that problem for you. Or you could do what I did and just fold back the plastic cover up to a line and then push it down, and then when you fold it back you get the crease, and then you can kind of cut along the crease and generally get the straight line. But yeah, like I said, highly recommend a round mystery painting from Jaded Gem Shop if you want to do rounds. One of these days I'll do another mystery in a square. But yeah, I guess technically this was my first mystery kit. I kind of forget that it is, because you do get the color behind it, and so it's not like that mysterious if you do happen to see it, but I had so much fun nonetheless. Okay, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried a rounds mystery kit before, and I'd love to know what you guys thought of it, or if you've tried a Jaded Gem Shop mystery, or if you've also just done any sort of mystery, what you guys think of it. But yeah, I had a fun time. Excited to try a square mystery as well. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Oh, I am going to do a pan over, so don't forget that at the end. Okay, bye.